Happy Friday and welcome to Quick News for the week of June 4th through June 10th, 2016. Quick News is a weekly series offering you news stories from this week you may not have heard in 10 minutes or less. This week we're starting out with a story from Texas. Reports in the Lone Star State show that cases of teachers having inappropriate relationships with students are on track to beat last year's record total. There were 162 investigations of inappropriate teacher-student relationships reported between September 1st, 2015 and May 31st, 2016. The issue was thrust into the spotlight when it was revealed last week that former Houston area teacher Alexandria Vera had become pregnant after engaging in a relationship with a 13-year-old former student. Vera had been introduced to the family as the boy's girlfriend, and the teacher said his parents supported the relationship and invited her to family gatherings. She told the investigator the parents were very supportive and excited when she told them she was pregnant. According to court documents, she ended up aborting the baby after she was questioned by a child welfare investigator. The rise in student-teacher relationships has been blamed by many on the rise of Facebook and Snapchat, which allow students to get to know teachers in a more personal way. The problem arises when the teacher does not respect boundaries and takes relationships way too far. Next up, the German postal system is getting criticism for forcing Brits living there to pay extra money to send in their ballots for the referendum vote. Others worry that the post hasn't sent them at all. 3 British nationals have reported that the Deutsche Post did not recognize the prepaid postage on the mail-in ballots for the Brexit vote. Many Brits in Germany have complained that those who have been forced to pay extra or whose ballots aren't being delivered are being robbed of their voice in yet another case of suspicious mail-in ballots. We've seen a similarly strange case before in the Austrian election where mail-in ballots decided the whole thing. This time, ballots are being suppressed for fear that a majority of Brits will vote in favor of a Brexit. Apparently, Germany isn't the only country suppressing Brexit ballots. It's also been reported that Brits in Belgium and France were facing issues with their mail-in ballots too. It's no surprise that British voters in other parts of the EU may be facing problems getting their ballots out. It's not in the best interest of the EU for Britain to leave, and without going into too much detail, Leave and Remain voters have been neck and neck for months, so I can see why the EU might be taking more extreme measures to ensure the UK stays apart. 2 stories about guns today. May was another record-breaking month for gun sales in the United States. The FBI completed a record 1,870,000 gun-related background checks in the month of May, almost 300,000 more than May of 2015, which was also a record month. Our friends the Democrats are the best gun salespeople this country has ever had. Their proposals to limit gun rights or even repeal the Second Amendment caused many Second Amendment supporters to fear for the availability of guns and ammunition. Things like the Ninth Circuit Court of California ruling yesterday that the Second Amendment does not protect the right to concealed carry are what's causing such a run on guns and ammo in the country. The court in San Francisco voted 7-4 to uphold a California law that requires gun owners to show a good reason before they can get a license to carry a concealed handgun, whatever good reason means. The court declined to say whether the Second Amendment protects open carry or not, since it wasn't a question in this particular case, though I think we can all assume what they might have said. I'm sure we will continue to see a rise in gun sales as the election in November nears, with Hillary Clinton supporting Australia's gun confiscation and saying she disagrees with the Supreme Court's 2008 decision protecting the right to own a gun for home protection. People are rightfully concerned about their rights. Finally, speaking of Hillary Clinton, a tweet by one of her staff members caused waves across the internet yesterday. Donald Trump tweeted, "Obama just endorsed crooked Hillary. He wants 4 more years of Obama, but nobody else does." To which Hillary's account responded, "Delete your account." It quickly was her most retweeted tweet. Delete your account has been a widely used phrase on Twitter and generally is used as a dismissal when someone disagrees with a tweet. Roughly, it translates to, "I don't like your opinion. I think it's so bad you shouldn't be allowed to tweet anymore." It's the lazy man's rebuttal. So is anyone surprised that Hillary's staff stooped to this? It's certainly not a very presidential tweet. Donald Trump's response to this, however, was priceless. How long did it take your staff of 823 people to think that up? And where are your 33,000 emails that you deleted? Reince Priebus also had a great rebuttal. He said, "If anyone knows how to use a delete key, it's you." It's certainly a case of Hillary trying to reach out to younger voters, and she's showing that she isn't quite as hip as she thinks she is. Remember this atrocious tweet? Well, that's it for Quick News this week. If you have a story you think I should do in this segment, tweet it at me with the hashtag #QuickNews. And be sure to follow me on Twitter for news, insight, and general lulls. Click that red button to subscribe and join the skeptical family where we put logic and reason above feelings and emotion. Thanks for watching.